Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Faye. Welcome to the channel and another Tech Tuesday. This week I will be showing you how to disassemble an Xbox One controller. This is my son's controller and it started doing the dreaded joystick drift. The right joystick was sticking when I pushed it in and would stick when pushed in any direction. So that is the specific issue I'm trying to solve today. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking off the back plates, and to do that you can just use your nails, or you can use like a plastic card, like an old credit card. And then you're gonna want to open up your battery case and take off the sticker if it's still there, because there is a screw that you need to access underneath the sticker. These controllers are not made to be easily accessible. Microsoft wants you to buy a new controller when yours breaks, but we're not doing that. So with the right tools, you can take your controller apart. So these controllers have safety screws. They're not really meant to be undone, and they have a little tab in the very middle of it. You can buy a screwdriver specifically for these types of screws. I did not have one of these specific types of screwdrivers, but I did have a star head screwdriver, so this is what I did. I was able to break the little tabs in the center using a very small flathead screwdriver and a hammer. You just put the flathead right by the center tab thing and use the hammer to break it off. It should come off really easily and you should not need to use a lot of force. I cannot stress that enough. And then once you've broken all the tabs off, you can just use a regular star head screwdriver to unscrew all the screws, and then the back plate comes off, and then the front plate also comes off. And there's a lot of hair in here. It's pretty gross. It was pretty dirty on the inside. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at this joystick. They pop right off. And I found a little tab, and that is probably the issue. That appears very out of place. It doesn't really look broken. So hopefully I'll be able to just stick it back where it belongs. This is a pretty common issue with these controllers. The joysticks are not really built to last a long time. They're pretty cheaply made. They've got little plastic parts, but it is what it is. So now I'm just gonna clean off the rest of the faceplate. That's actually not the faceplate. That's under the faceplate. It's pretty dirty. I wouldn't recommend taking apart your controller just to clean it, just because you always risk breaking tabs and, having things fall apart. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other joystick. I'm going to take the stick off and clean the sensor. And now I'm cleaning the little tab, and I'm just looking at it and trying to figure out exactly where that tab goes, and for some reason blowing on it. I don't know, there's probably a hair there or something. You have to kind of go in at an angle with this little tab. I got really lucky that this wasn't broken. It just had popped off. I've heard some people end up gluing their tab down. I don't think I would recommend glue. I would not really recommend any sort of adhesive. I was able to get it in just by wiggling it in there. If you need to do this fix, don't be forceful with it. You want to be very gentle. I took my time. I took not that long, but don't force it in there. Because you are going to break it if you do that. It's such a tiny little plastic piece. So I finally got it in, and now I'm just cleaning off the joystick because it was also really sticky and gross. I'm cleaning off both sides. Oh, also, you can take off the top, which is the bumper buttons. Just bumpers. They're not called bumper buttons. But, if something's wrong up there or with your left or right trigger buttons, then that's how you take it off. It just kind of pops off. And that little tiny top piece also pops on and off. I literally took those off just to show you guys. Now I'm putting the joysticks back on after they dry. I rubbed them down with rubbing alcohol and then let them dry for a few minutes. and there is only one way that they go on. It's not a perfect circle, it's like a oval, so you can only put it on a certain way. And then I am reassembling it, just doing everything that I did before but in reverse. Oh, and then I realized how dirty the inside of that was, so I decided to clean it. And now I'm done cleaning it, so now I'm going to reassemble it. So put the faceplate on, and then put the back plate on, just line it up. You have to line it up pretty much perfectly, otherwise you can't screw it back together. And then make sure you keep your screws or have 5 screws ready, because you're going to need to re-put them back in, and you need all 5 of them. Unless you want your controller to be loose. And then these just clip back in. Be careful with them, and they will go in easily. And that is all there is to it. Just making sure all the buttons work, and you can see that the right joystick is working just fine. So I fixed my issue. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. Please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!